This is Mako Abyss coming at you with my second video ever. This is a deck profile for my 2013 Vampire deck. It was released in Shadow Specters. The deck is extremely old. Haven't touched it in 2 years. This is what I've been playing with it so far. So bear with me on a lot of the stuff. 2 copies of Vampire Lord, head card of the deck. The deck runs off of a effect basically known as bleeding, where you're forcing your opponent to send cards from the deck to the grave, and cards in this deck have added effects should you be able to do this, solely based off if you have Vampire Kingdom in play or not. But Vampire Lord is one of the main cards of the deck, and you run 2 of them. 2 copies of Shadow Vampire. When it's normal summon, search for 1 dark vampire monster, bring it to the field. This monster can only be used as a material for a dark Xyz monster. You'll notice that this deck runs on a lot of level 5 vampire monsters, so a lot of level 5 zombies, and damn near the entire deck is dark. So you get added bonuses from if you run a lure in this deck, which this deck doesn't. I haven't had a chance to put one in, but yeah. 3 copies, Vampire Sorcerer. Your searcher of the deck. One of the more important cards of the deck. You put it in play, search your deck for a vampire monster, spell, or trap, put it in your hand, it searches your kingdom, it searches your takeover, your Vampire Lord, whatever you need, and put it in your hand. And then if he's in your graveyard, you banish him, and you don't have to tribute for Vampire Lord or Shadow Vampire or anything like that. 2 copies of Vampire Vamp. Vampire Vamp is important for when you're playing against decks like Blue Eyes White Dragon, Red Eyes even, Dark Magicians, Buster Bladers, the essentials, monsters that freaking easily overpower 2000 beater, because this deck literally, only monsters that are higher than 2000 in this deck are the XD monsters. The actual monsters of the deck are all like 2000 or less, and Vampire Vamp will snatch your opponent's monsters, equip it, and you just start smacking your opponent down with their own monsters. Plus, your only problem with this effect though is you can only do it when they summon a monster. So when they summon Blue Eyes, Red Eyes, etc., you snatch the monster, equip it to them. 1 copy of Vampire Duke. I was running 2 of him, but I'm not crazy about the fact that you have to special summon him in order for you to get his added effect. I've added a lot of stuff to this deck to be able to special summon to try and get his effect as much as possible, but you only want to go with 1 of. But you want to run 2 copies of Vampire Grace, whose effect is once per turn. You can declare spell, trap, monster, etc. for the bleeding effect, make your opponent ditch a card, and then you use Kingdom to start popping their stuff. Playset of Vampire Lady. One of your level 4 monsters for the deck. You want to run playset of her because when she deals battle damage, you get the bleeding effect. You want to run a playset of Pyramid Turtle. I'm sure everyone knows what Pyramid Turtle does. When it's destroyed, it's into the graveyard by battle. Search your deck for a zombie with 2000 defense or less. Everything in here is literally less than 2000 defense, so you're getting a shot at anything. Anything you want that's in your deck, you smack it to the field. Mainly I grab Vampire Lord or Shadow Vampire, but that's me. Soul Absorber Bone Tower. I'm sure everyone remembers what he does. If you have another zombie in play, you can't target this card for battle. And I was originally trying to find a way to root him out. I'm trying to figure out the best way to root him out, but we don't have a lot of level 4 zombies I could think of to throw in here. I mean, I'm sure others will come to mind, like Mizuki, I think his name is, centaur looking thing, but I haven't got any copies of him right now, so for now, Soul Absorbing Bone Tower. But if you can get any copies of anything better than this, by all means, go ahead and run them, because Soul Absorbing Bone Tower is not exactly where you want to be at. Moving on to spells. The main card of the deck, literally the main card, Vampire Kingdom. When your opponent sends a card from the deck to the grave, once per turn, you could send a vampire monster from your deck or your hand to the grave, either or, and then... Sorry. You can send... When your opponent sends a card from the deck to the grave, you send a vampire from your deck or hand to the grave. Pick a card they had in play, monster, spell, trap, whatever, destroy it. And then during the battle phase only, zombie monsters gain 500 attack. 2 copies of Overpowering Eye. You select one zombie monster with 2,000 attack or less. Like I said, everything in here is 2,000 attack or less except for the XCs. And have it attack. And I do believe you can do this effect off of, even with Kingdom in play, to attack directly, and during the battle phase you'll gain the 500, so I think you'll be able to... I'm not sure if that exactly works that way or not, but I'm pretty sure it will. 2 copies of Call the Mummy, in case you don't draw your level 4 drop and you draw Call the Mummy, you're holding Vampire Lord, Vampire Grace, whatever. Slap it to the field for free if you don't have it in play. 2 copies of Book of Moon. Book of Life. Yeah, Book of Life, sorry. Thinking about a different deck. Book of Life. So used to running Book of Moon. Book of Life. Pick zombie monster in your graveyard, special summon it, banish a card in your opponent's grave. And 1 copy of Field Barrier to protect your kingdom. Then you run 3 copies of Vampire Takeover. The terraforming for the deck. If you don't have Vampire Kingdom in play, or you don't have any field spell in play, and you only have 1 zombie in play, it works as terraforming. You search your deck for Vampire Kingdom, put it in play, and then you get a zombie to the field. 2 copies of Call the Haunted. 2 copies of Tutan Mask. Tutan Mask is one of your protection cards for the deck. I run 2 of him because he works a lot better than other cards I've played, like Dark Illusion, because you have some earth monsters in here, and this protects literally everything in the deck. If a monster is targeted by a spell, trap, whatever, you protect your monster and you destroy the card that targeted it. 2 copies of Mirror Force, because it's Mirror Force. 1 copy of Magical Cylinders, because you want to make them pay for attacking you. And then the extra deck, which is kind of small. 3 copies of the big guy, Crimson Knight Vampire Bram, who is the main XE of the deck. You want to run 3 of him, because he's really good. You just detach an XE, target a monster in their grave, in your opponent's grave, bring it to your field. If you're playing, it's good for screwing up people's combos. Like say if they playing Blue Eyes and they stitched Whitestone of Ancients to the grave, snatch their Whitestone of Ancients before they get the effect off. And then 2,500 attack. If he's destroyed within like the first 2 turns of him being on the field, I believe, he comes right back anyway. 1 copy of Dragulus, the Vampiric Dragon. Really fun card because he can target himself for his effect as well and force himself into face-down defense position, and then he just starts popping shit. 2 copies of Fortress Shark, just another type of protection card in the deck. Not really a big main. I was just running because I was trying to find decent rank 5 dark monsters to play with this deck. 1 copy of Tornado Dragon and 1 copy of Castell. Like I said, because it's motherfucking Castell. And that does it for this deck. Please like and subscribe. I know I'm still new. I'm literally doing everything, these videos off my phone. Everything is off of my phone. I'm going to be doing a redo of my first video because I've heard a lot of problems about it being Ancient Gears. Like I said, please like, subscribe. I really appreciate it, and thank you. Mako Abyss out.